The 54 Immortals crush all opposition.
YouTube, what is going on? It's the Nautis here from the 54 Immortals. I'm a little sick today, so instead of doing my normal gaming type stuff, I'm going to do a tier list of all the Pixar movies, including Luca, which I just saw a couple days ago. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, I know you guys are busy, so I'm just going to ask you to take a couple seconds out of your day to leave a comment on the video. Let me know what your thoughts are on Pixar. Drop a like, subscribe if you aren't already. And we'll see you in the next one. Alright, here we go. Pixar tier list. This is updated for 2021, including Luca, which I have seen. So let's get right into it. Starting off with A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life is good, and this was only, I think it was the second one they made. It was Toy Story, then A Bug's Life, then Toy Story 2. Or maybe it was the third one. It was the second or third movie, but it's pretty damn good. I don't know. It's not like as rewatchable for me as some of the other Pixar movies. But it's still very good. I'm gonna have to go, I think I'm gonna go B tier for A Bug's Life. It's definitely not A tier, but I don't think it's C tier. Like something like Brave, I think I would put as C tier. Like Brave's a good movie, but I've never felt like the urge to go and watch Brave. Like I've been like, oh, I'm like, a little nostalgic. I'll go watch A Bug's Life. I've never really felt that way for Brave. So I would say Brave is C tier. Cars 2. Cars 2 is not that good. Cars 1 is fire. Cars 3 is alright. I might have to put Cars 2 as D tier. I think this might be the worst one that they've made. Yeah. Cars 2 just wasn't it for me. I think Cars 3 is better than Cars 2. Okay, so Cars 3 is going to be a C tier. Cars... I actually just watched Cars like a couple weeks ago. I would say Cars is an A tier. I mean, like, as a kid, that's just one of the classics. I don't know, though. For me personally, like, I was never in love with Cars that much. There are so many other Pixar movies that I preferred. I'm gonna have to demote it to B tier. I think it's probably on par with A Bug's Life. I think A Bug's Life is underrated, to be honest. People don't show that movie enough love. Coco was really good. I actually really enjoyed Coco. Again, though, not one of those movies that I'm like, oh, I gotta go watch Coco again. Like, there are so many other Pixar movies I'd rather watch. But that's just me. I gotta say, Coco's probably a B tier, too. Yeah, I think it's gonna be B. Finding Dory was honestly not that good. I don't know that I'll ever rewatch it. I think that's probably a D tier movie. There's just no reason for them to make this. Finding Nemo was so great, and they just kind of ruined its legacy, in my opinion, with Finding Dory. I don't know. I'm not a fan of unnecessary sequels or prequels or reboots. Just not a fan. So I gotta throw this a D tier, honestly. I'm just like, it's not that it was like a terrible movie. I don't think it was a great movie, but just the fact that they even made this is just kind of annoying to me. Like, do something new. Finding Nemo's A tier. Absolutely. Great movie. Growing up as a kid, that movie came out a couple years after I was born, so it was already kind of around by the time I was watching this stuff. Incredibles 2 is A tier. A very good sequel. The original is easily the best movie on this list. I don't know, though. Like, the one thing that I didn't love about The Incredibles 2 was the Underminer. Like, they set him up at the very end of the first Incredibles, and they're like, oh, yeah, the Underminer. And then in the trailers for Incredibles 2, you see him, he's coming back. You're like, oh, shit, it's the Underminer. And then he shows up. Mr. Incredible just kind of like, he's just laughable in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And then Underminer just goes away forever. Like, what? Where'd he go? What's he up to? I don't know. Like, that was the one comment I had. But otherwise, really good movie. I think Screenslaver was a good villain, too. Inside Out was good. Kind of sad at the end. But aren't a lot of these movies kind of sad at the end? I don't know. Again, like, not one of those movies that just, like, draws me in. Like, for me personally, because I grew up at a time where like the movies that I watched as a kid were like The Incredibles, Toy Story, Ratatouille, Monsters Inc. Like those are the movies that draw me in more than the ones that have come out recently. Like I still watch them. Pixar is easily one of the best film production companies out there, but I don't know. Like the other ones are more nostalgic for me, so the newer ones just don't like draw me in as much. So I think there's going to be a little bias in this list towards the older movies, but there's nothing I can really do about that. So Inside Out's got to be. I think Inside Out's going to be B tier. I think it's better than Brave. It's better than Cars 3. No way it's as good as Finding Nemo. It's still a good movie. Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is S tier. I don't care what anyone else says. This is to this day still a top 3 Pixar for me. Monsters University. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. Like, was I happy this movie came out? Yeah. Did they need to do it? No. You know what I mean? I'm kind of torn between a B and a C. Like, I think it's good and it's enjoyable. I haven't seen it in a while, so there is that. Do I feel the need to watch it again? No. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I'd watch it again. You know what? I'll give it the benefit of the doubt just because of how good Monsters Inc. 1 is. I'll throw it in B tier. That could change, though. I might have to do a rewatch pretty soon, and it might get knocked down a tier. I think B is as high as it could be, though. And also, there's that new Monsters at Work show that just came out, which I have to watch. All right, Onward. How are we thinking about Onward? I don't know. Onward was good. Like, it was just good. It's a lot of B tiers, but I feel like it's a B tier. Like, I don't know. It was good. It's not great. Will I watch it again? Probably not. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, sure. I don't know. Just like underwhelming. I mean, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt were great. They're good voice actors. Ratatouille is S tier for sure. Ratatouille is phenomenal. It is so good. To this day, still one of the best Pixar movies. Nothing beats that. The Good Dinosaur. I haven't seen this in so long. I think this was a one and done for me. Just like, yeah, it was alright. I'll probably put it on a C tier. The reason that I put this on a C tier and not with a D tier is because, like, at least this is original. Whereas, like, Finding Dory, like, come on. Alright, The Incredibles, best movie on this list. Where that gets its own category. We need a new category for this one. Incredible. Yep. I mean, there's just no debate. Zero debate for that. It's so good. It's just so good. For a movie to come out in 2004 before all of the MCU, before any of that stuff, and be a really good movie, be a really good superhero movie, and just be entertaining the entire time. Not much more you could ask for. And that's one of those movies where like kids can really enjoy it, but it's honestly made for adults more so than kids. It's just so good. And that's really all I can say about it. Brad Bird, you are an absolute legend. For those of you who don't know too, Brad Bird made The Incredibles and Ratatouille. So in terms of Pixar, Brad Bird's up here. Toy Story 2, I actually really like Toy Story 2. I've heard like mixed reviews about it. Like, I've heard some people who are like, yeah, Toy Story 2 is great, and some people are like, Toy Story 2 sucks. I actually like it. I like the whole thing about like the toy collector being kind of a villain. I think that was pretty interesting. I'm gonna put Toy Story 2 in A tier. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a good movie. Toy Story 3, also A tier. Yeah, I mean, both of those are so good. Toy Story 4, in my opinion, Toy Story 3 was the perfect ending. You know, you have the trilogy. You don't really, like, 4 is just a weird number of movies to have. But I was just kind of underwhelmed. Like, I didn't really need this. I don't think it's D tier with the rest of the unnecessary sequels, but I don't know. It's like the animation is phenomenal, as is like pretty much everything. But I don't really think I will ever watch this again, to be honest. I think I'm gonna go C tier with this one. Maybe because there are already a lot of B tiers, but I don't know. Toy Story 1, S tier. It's still amazing that this movie still holds up. It's so entertaining. This is the first feature film they ever did. The first fully 3D computer animated feature film ever made. And it's like, that's crazy to be like one of the first movies to accomplish this like insane feat that has like taken over entertainment, and it's still like one of the best ones. Like, think about that. Up is great. Up is really good. I don't think I would put Up on S tier with these, but Up is an A tier. Up's A tier for sure. Up is great. Should have been called Down because of how sad it is, but very good movie. And look at that. There's a literal ad for Up going on. You can't really see it, but WALL-E is A tier for sure. It's so sad, and just like, it's such a good movie. It's not necessarily like, I wouldn't even call this a kids movie. It's just a good film. Like, plain and simple. Just really well done. The reason Up and WALL-E though aren't S tiers for me is the nostalgia. Like I said before, like, just growing up in this time period, these are the movies I watched as a kid. And I was like getting older when these came. I'm not denying at all that they're phenomenal, but I don't know. Just like, I would, if you said like, would you rather watch WALL-E or one of these, or would you rather watch Up or one of these, I would pick these every day. No debate. So, Soul was actually really good. I was really impressed by Soul. Another one that's like not as much a kids movie, which is a really common theme for Pixar. Like, people don't really realize like how much these movies are actually made for adults. They're made by adults. Like, a lot of this stuff is just like real life experience. Like, Monsters Inc. is about becoming a dad. Like, Pete Docter has said that. And Finding Nemo, like, just think about a kids movie about like a dad trying to find his son. Like, that's not really like the plot for a kids movie. So like, Soul was really good. I mean, it won the Oscar. So I'm not gonna put Soul as A tier. I'll put it as B tier. Again, like, not one of those things that I would rewatch. Like, anything A tier or above, I will rewatch a lot. B tier and below is kind of like, or B tier is kind of like, yeah, I'll watch it. A tier, I would be excited to watch it. B tier, I'll be like, I'll watch it. Again, that's just like the newer stuff for me. Like, I just don't have the nostalgia. Like, I feel like a kid again when I watch this stuff, and I feel like I'm getting old. I'm 20 years old. Luca was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was good. Again, it's original. I'm glad Pixar is starting to branch out and go away from the sequels and the trilogies and the prequels and everything. So I can appreciate that. I watched it a couple days after it came out. Again, like, granted, I literally just saw it a couple days ago, but at the same time, like, it's not something that I feel the need to rewatch maybe ever. I think it was entertaining though. I'm gonna go B tier. I think the voice cast was really good for this. I was very impressed. I honestly think this is the list. I mean, there's just no other way to go about it. Let me know in the comment section if you guys agree, if you disagree, what your thoughts are on Pixar. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.